when people get to sitting in that seat, more often than not, they snitching. Because the choice is life, or you can tell what someone else did and what their involvement was. And so that's real cool to say when you on social media, but when it's you sitting in there and your mama and your woman and you got a baby on the way, you have all these other responsibilities as a man you need to tend to, you got to make grown folk decisions for you and your family. And so often the decision is, I'm going to tell the truth and wrap this up for me.
Okay.
Back then.
I'm asking you, were you concerned about being labeled a snitch?
A snitch is someone who tell the truth to the police.
Okay, so were you concerned about being labeled a snitch?
I was concerned about getting those who wrong me and the people I care about.
Mr. Sims, you are a cover-up artist and you are a liar.
But not a snitch.
Excuse me?
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the AV to the 7th Power YouTube channel, where we talk about all things law, true crime, and a little bit of debauchery. This week, we've been watching Lil Woody on the stand in the YSL case. He had a big decision to make over this past weekend to decide if he wanted to testify. The courtroom was tense as everyone awaited his choice, knowing it could shift the trajectory of the YSL trial. There is a huge controversy surrounding Lil Woody's testimony against Young Thug, with many questioning his motivations and the integrity of his testimony. Was he coerced by the state to testify as their star witness? Do the 5 interviews on record in 2015, some of which he knowingly and openly contacted detectives to provide information, indicate informant-like behavior? And lastly, the ultimate question, is Lil Woody a snitch, or is there more to the story? Lil Woody, whose real name is Kenneth Copeland, has been a central figure in the YSL trial. His involvement goes beyond just being a witness. His relationship with Young Thug and his role within YSL has made him a key piece in the prosecution's puzzle. His connection to Young Thug dates back several years, where he was allegedly involved in various activities that the prosecution is now using to build their case. His decision to testify has caused a stir, especially considering his past loyalties. One that comes to mind is his loyalty to Tay, who helped commit these crimes and is no longer with us. He passed away about 6 weeks ago in Atlanta. This week in court, we've seen significant moments that highlight the weight of Lil Woody's testimony, whether it is the emotional tension during the cross-examination that is imminent. The defense attorneys are going to cross-examine Woody, or the state's reliance on his statements to build their case. The term snitch is loaded with connotations in both legal and street culture. In the legal world, a snitch might be seen as someone who cooperates with law enforcement to reduce their own sentence. However, in street culture, it's a label that can carry a death sentence, figuratively and sometimes literally. Historically, informants have been viewed with disdain in the hip-hop community, a place where loyalty is often valued above all else. But in today's world, where the lines between street credibility and survival blur, the term has taken new dimensions. Lil Woody himself has a unique take on this. He claims that a snitch is someone who tells the police the truth. Since he mixes lies with the truth in his interactions with police, he argues that he doesn't fit the traditional definition.
So it may seem like I'm trying to help Thug out. I'm not trying to help him out. I don't care nothing about him, what he got going on, nothing. I care about the truth. The truth was, I was going through a phase in my life, and I have put all the blame on him. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he got going on. But y'all got me on the stand, and I'm telling the God honest truth. Leave me out of this. I made all these stories up, put the blame on him to get myself out of the situation because the police told me they want a big fish, and I'm a little fish. They ain't who I want. So when they told me that, my only motive was to convince them that I'm telling the truth about this guy right here, and I'm lying.
YSL Mondo recently reposted a clip of Lead and I discussing court documents that indicated Lil Woody's role as a state witness.
In the days, weeks, in the months following Nutt's murder, Lil Woody gave 6 recorded statements to law enforcement, one of which was over 9 hours long, detailing Lil Woody's involvement in the criminal street gang YSL and statements of YSL co-conspirators about the involvement of YSL members in the murder of Nutt and other criminal activity. Lil Woody gave a detailed account of the events that led up to Nutt's murder, as well as his own involvement in said events, and of events and acts committed by Lil Woody and other members in the months following the murder. Phone records of Lil Woody and other, based in part on the statements that Lil Woody gave to the police, 5 YSL members were indicted for murder, and 28 members of YSL were indicted for violation of RICO, racketeer, influence, and corrupt organizations. Damn, read this, guys. Based in part on statements that Lil Woody gave. 5 members indicted for murder, 28 members of YSL indicted for RICO. Damn.
Wow.
Lil Woody, I mean, his testimony, he brought down a gang of people. Allegedly. This is from the state. This is not necessarily the truth.
Isn't it crazy though? It's almost like his statement caused all of this to happen.
In the judgment of the Honorable Fannie T. Willis, District Attorney of the Atlanta Judicial Circuit, the testimony of Lil Woody is necessary to the public interest. Wow.
Look who signed it. Look who signed it.
And Fannie T. Willis. Of course, her signature is in bold. This is insanity. I hadn't seen that.
The ethical dilemma here is profound. Is it justifiable for Lil Woody to testify against Young Thug to save himself? Or is this an act of betrayal, a violation of street code? His testimony raises the question of whether it serves justice or simply his self-preservation. Is he upholding the law or is he betraying his community?
Yes, what about this? No money. What is you bro in all this? Yeah, a lot of money. About 5,000. Yeah. Duke is Jack? Nah, Jack is Duke is 2 different people.
So he is just continuously providing more and more information. They're getting frustrated with him. They're just like, hey, man, you're contradicting yourself. You continuously do it. You don't want to go to jail. You're telling us a story about how you were in jail for 3 weeks. And, he's just like, I'll give you whatever you want. You want Thug, you want Birdman. I'll give you information on all of these people. Right. And then they're just sliding in for information that they want to know. The male detective just said, hey, it was somebody's house. I couldn't make up the name. And he's just like, or make out the name. He's just like, who shot up that house? And then Woody said, he had the nerve to say, are y'all ready for this? He said, that wasn't us. About 2 hours ago, you were trying to separate yourself from them. And now there's an us. The math is not math in here. He's all over the place. And it's so funny because he's just like ripping and running. The information is just coming out so quickly. It's like a hamster wheel. We're going over here, then we're going over here. And then they're saying that the detectives are saying they don't even trust you. Right? But I don't think he is lying when he said, I said whatever I could to get out of jail and save his own ass.
Immunity is a key part here. Lil Woody was granted immunity by the state before he even testified. But we have learned that weekend Lil Woody spent 3 days in jail without food and water.
Mr. Copeland, do me a favor, pull your chair up as close as you can to the microphone and speak directly into it so we can all hear you. So if you could state and spell your first and last name for the record, please.
Kenneth Copeland.
Spell it, please.
KENNETHCOPELAND.
All right, thank you, sir. All right.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am?
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I get you to step outside to your headquarters of jury deliberation, please? From
All right,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take them into custody.
Immunity plays a crucial role in this scenario. According to Black's Law Dictionary, immunity refers to any exemption from a duty, liability, or service of process particularly granted to public officials or government units. Lil Woody's case involves use immunity from the state of Georgia, which protects him from having his compelled testimony used against him for future prosecutions. However, this is totally different from federal immunity, which might cover a broader scope. Use immunity is a powerful tool in legal proceedings derived from the idea that compelled testimony under certain conditions should not incriminate the witness in future cases. Lil Woody, since this trial has been on pause for a majority of the summer, has made several appearances across the internet and on media platforms. His most recent song dropping on Apple Music with the title, I Don't Recall. Reputation is everything, and being labeled a snitch could end his career before it even begins.
When you look at Thugger trial, that shit, and Free Thugger, you know what I mean? But that shit feel like like an O.J. Simpson trial or some shit. Like every day something wild happening with that shit. This nigga telling or this nigga telling, and this shit look bad, you know?
Well, we had Boosie on recently, and he went off. He called everyone who cooperated from Gunna to whoever, he called them all rats.
You're a rat recycling bin. You know what that is?
No.
You're a certified rat, right?
Right.
Now you're recycled in the system for the rest of your life because you can't stay off drugs. Because everybody's calling you a rat. You're just discombobulated. You can't stay off drugs. So you're a rat recycling bin. You get recycled in a bin every 3 years. You're going to get dirty urine. You're going to get some kind of charge that keep you violating. You're a rat recycling bin.
He was
But
saying,
in this game of ours that we play, you understand? We know the rules to it. We understand the rules. It's like once you get into this game, it's like we're not even, a lot of rappers ain't considered civilians because once you do tell, it feels like your career is like over because everything is based on street credibility. It went away. There's spurts of rap time where people don't care about the street credibility.
Fans and commentators alike are spectating on his future. We've seen in the past how such decisions can make or break public figures. Will Lil Woody be able to rebuild? We have taken a close look at what our viewers have to say. One viewer who spent 23 years incarcerated for a crime they did not commit argues that Lil Woody should do the time, even if it was 6 months to the end of this trial, and redeem himself with Young Thug. They see this decision to testify as betrayal. Lil Woody's eagerness to get out of jail led him to agree to testify. But why did he want to get out of jail? Now that Brian Steele has shared Lil Woody's story of not being able to eat, not being able to drink for 3 days, makes us not even look at the corruption in the Georgia court system, but now the prison system in Georgia. Even though the prosecution and Judge Glanville gave Lil Woody incorrect information about the time he had to serve if he refused, this is a serious thing we should all pay attention to. We also need to consider the audience sentiment regarding whether they trust the 2015 Woody from the interrogation footage or the 2024 Woody who is now testifying. After polling my audience in live streams this week, 48% of you said you wouldn't trust either version. While Lil Woody may avoid prosecution for his testimony, the label of informant will follow him for the rest of his life. His future relationships, career opportunities, even his safety could be at risk. And the eyes of the streets, once you're labeled a snitch, there's no going back.
Fuck dog, man. Straight up.
Did he say fuck Doug? Straight up? Let me go back. I need to make sure I heard that right.
Fuck dog, man. Straight up.
He sure did. Chat, did y'all hear that? I'm not crazy, right?
Do you think Lil Woody's actions are justified? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next update. Let's keep the conversation going. Lil Woody's testimony has raised more questions than answers about loyalty, justice, and survival in the legal system. Whether you see him as a snitch or someone trying to survive, his actions will undoubtedly shape the future of the YSL trial. And before we go anywhere, please check out the sponsor of today's video, Aura. If you want to protect your data, your privacy, your credit, and stop robocalls, please check them out. You have a free 14-day trial using my code below. Thank you all for tuning in today. Stay safe out there. See you in the next one. Bye.